Matea Guacure, Hewahomea, Matea Guacure, Wahomea, Matea Guacore, Hewahomea, Ore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacure, Wahomea, Matea Guacore, Hewahomea, Ore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacure, Wahomea, Matea Guacore, Hewahomea, Ore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacore, Wahomea, Matea Guacore, Hewahomea, Hagagore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacore, Hagagore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacore, Ore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacore, Wahomea, Matea Guacore, Hewahomea, Ore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacore, Wahomea, Matea Guacore, Hewahomea, Hagagore, Hewahomea, Matea Guacore, Wahomea, Matea Guacore.
So you're considered an urban Indian. Now, what do you call yourselves?
Guseño.
Guseño, okay. But then you said you were of the Warner Springs.
That's the original reservation. Yeah, it's crazy how me and my wife are. We're from the same tribe, but we didn't know each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Our parents knew each other through the game.
Yeah.
When you're around our area, where you from, the res, and then automatically they see a dollar sign.
Are there still traditions that are honored, respected within your reservation, old timers? I mean, do you guys still value those things, or are they kind of like that's then and this is now?
Both A and B, but it depends on. I say it's because we were raised with culture.
If you were to think about what you've been raised with, is there any? I'm just going to use a general word, words of wisdom that is like something that you guys live by.
I pass it on to my kids. Don't chew anything you don't tend to eat.
Don't chew anything you don't tend to eat. Don't
take no more than what you're gonna eat.
I like that.
And, this is our home.
Right.
This is our res. We don't let anybody talk bad about it.
Right. Protect it.
Hey, this is my home.
Right.
When you talk about my home, you're talking about my people.
Right.
Whether they're right or wrong, that's your home.
That's right.
But, do it proud. All the kids and the youngsters to leave. Don't stay here.
Right.
Experience. A lot of these kids, I can have you hang out with me for one day, and I can guarantee you, like, wow, this is really different. Because they don't experience anything farther than the Temecula Walmart. They don't experience anything farther west as the 1576 intersection. They go to school and go back. I believe that, a lot of my cultures are more culture they don't have to leave.
Right.
If it can be brought to you, even better. Now you have an income that it can be brought to you, even worse.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. A body in motion stays in motion. Like I'm up and doing things. Like I don't have to work, but
right.
Well,
don't you think it's important to use your talents, your creativity, whether you make money at it or not, is really irrelevant.
To the res 8 years ago. But I've been with my wife forever. It's a different change. Like you got to know your neighbors. You got to know what street belongs because the streets are family blocks.
Oh wow!
You go on my wife's block and you have my wife and her brothers and her dad and mom.
Right.
You'll have all of them. So don't pull in that block if you're not looking for something.
Right.
We're very territorial people. I don't understand why, because we're welcoming people. People wonder why we are assholes. We're assholes because you treat us like shit.
Mm.
Go shopping with me for one day, and you'll see that I will get ignored. Like, who is this guy?
Right.
Like, okay, I'm just here to buy car stereo or whatever I'm going to buy. They automatically judge us as stuff that some people are, some people aren't.
Right.
They stereotype us a lot.
And that's very difficult because you don't have they've already created an image, and where do you go from there?
It's hard. It's hard to see as, oh, you guys are nothing but dominions and we get free money. Misconception is it's not free money. That business that we own, we're proprietors of it, and we're no different than Bill Gates.
That's right.
We're no different than the guy who owns Subway. We're no different than the guy that sells newspapers. It's his business, and he runs it. And it's not free.
Right.
It wasn't free to build that wall.
Right.
You know, you're not forced to be here doing this.
Yeah.
But this is our way of making an economy. You know,
No.
we're still there.
So are a lot of the adults that live within the res, do they do their own little businesses on top of things? I mean, are there other activities?
As in what age? I can honestly tell you, we're in an age of handouts. You know, that's how it was with me. Like, this guy over here.
You had to probably prove yourself.
I did. Like almost every day for at least probably almost a good year. You know, but I ain't leaving. You always got to do a rainy day, but none of these guys, they're not planners. They're I call them takers.
Right.
You know, yeah, you're entitled to what you get. You are. But do you give anything back? No,
Right.
you don't. Do you do anything to better yourself? No, you don't.
Right.
What do you want to do? Just party, party, party. It's like, I'm done with the party. I do my thing. I got my kids, and I live responsible.
Right.
You know, these guys, because what happens if the day comes down and someone says your line's wiped out?
They were the hardest working, surviving tribes. I mean, that's what they had to
We're
live off the
slaves.
land. So that's in your blood as well.
Well, after. We were forgotten. And you know, it's crazy. We still live in third world. We truly do. I could bring you to the backside of the res where there ain't no running water.
Wow.
You know, cars broken down. But everybody has a choice of what they're going to spend their money on.
Right.
You either choose you want to put it up your nose, put it in your house, put it in your kids, put it in your education, do something.
Right.
But I don't see a lot doing right with it. But then again, it's not my money to tell you what to do with it.
Right.
You know, because the way I am is if it doesn't fall in my property, I don't worry about it really. One big thing is what bothers us is people that we know make the same amount and then they call us 2 days after payday and like, hey, can we borrow some money?
We all still can, seek the lowest level or the highest level.
If we want it, we'll buy it. We don't do credit because my wife and I know from a young age until you pay that credit card off, you physically don't own it. Well, you physically obtain it, but you don't own it. And I don't go into debt for nobody. So even if I had to put my goals aside for a while and still save up because it's not life-changing or my life need it now. Like diapers are more important than those 12-inch speakers you put in the back of your car. But I have friends that'll say the opposite.
Back to like the history of all these areas, kind of connected. What was the primary way that the primary way that they provided for themselves? Commodity.
Yeah, it was government. You were hunters and gatherers, and now all of a sudden you're illegal to hunt on your own land, which is, I have a big sign down the corner of my house, is no hunting or shooting on federal land. So that means I see a nice elk that could feed my family for the whole winter. You know, this is at their times.
Sure.
I can't shoot it. So what do I get? I can be honest, I didn't even touch my check because I work. And to me, it's just rainy day, because if I were to have things, this is the way I put it in my head, if I were to have things given to me every time, even though I'm entitled to it, it's slack. It would make me slack, slip in my ethics, work-wise, I want my kids to work. Matter of fact, all my kids are going to work. We're in the midst of we want to buy a pizza place. Reason being is because who doesn't like pizza?
Yeah.
And then our kids as a whole family, we do it all together, and one day it'll be yours if you like it, because I want you to know what earning a value of $1 is, instead of being like these people that are ousted and what am I going to do now? I don't know. Not my problem. That's what it's going to be.
Right.
I don't want my kids to be useless. I want my daughters to know how to shoot a gun and use an axe and bait a hook and go, just be self-sufficient.
I think that's
where I don't
fantastic.
have to worry about you.
Yeah. Well, I'm really impressed. I really am impressed with your philosophy and just the way you're living your life. And
I'm an outsider because I live the outside, so
Yeah.
I know how hard the outside is. I know what it's like to having to do things that you weren't accustomed to and having to do things to put food on the table. Mine is signing up, taking orders from someone that I never knew, and did what I had to do, and I did.
well, would you like to go out and take a look at my
Sure.
Indian
Check it
artifacts? All right, let's do it. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, did you know in the Navajo culture, the Hopis as well, for life, they don't take pictures?
Really?
Yeah, it's a
no, I
trip.
did not.
Oh, yeah, I got.
Now, here's the sad part about this property. When we moved here, it had been an abandoned nursery for 7 years. The nursery had left. It used to be a big, thriving nursery. But the people, I don't know if it was the people who owned the nursery or other companies, but they would come back here and dump all their trash,
Oh, yeah?
like a trash dump for years. And all in this area, they were dumping trash. Well, when I bought the property, it had a county lien on it for the dumping,
Oh,
and
yeah?
we had to
Oh.
clean it up to be able to get title on this.
Oh,
So I had like dump trucks, and we got most of it cleaned up. I think this is where they resided all in here. I think there's a lot more Indian artifacts under there. And I sure wish that I could clean it up and find them, but that would be a project for a lot of people.
you know they have.
When the Spanish were here, before the white settlers came here in the 1800s, the Spanish were here. And if you didn't convert, or if you got busted, the Spanish would take you and basically you'd be in prison. And that's the slave labor that you see in these gold mines. And if you were to do it now, it's not feasible because your return wouldn't be that much because you got to pay everybody legally. But at the same time, when they were jailing all the Indians and whoever got in trouble, they had them in there as slave labor.
He said in here was an oven because of the black smoke, and that when you have an oven, you have a village.
It's crazy. We have fertility rock. It looks like a woman's general. There's a,
Is that the yoni?
Yeah. Now, is that natural water there, or is it from the rain?
That's from the rain. This is the Indian bath. And then over here is what I was told might be a yoni.
Either eye
So
or
unusual.
Yeah, it's either or no.
I would think so, like almost a circle, and then it splinters off.
It is a symbol.
See that they carved. And then down in here, there's some matatis. And then, let me see if I can find it.
Like the grinder is the mocajeta.
The grinder's the mocajeta.
In this area, because there's a lot more oak trees out here, so if you look at all the grinding stones that you probably have found even on your property,
Right.
that lets you know how many oak trees were here. And when the white man came here and started farming, they started chopping all the oak trees down around here, so the Indians couldn't harvest those acorns and wouldn't trespass on the properties anymore.
Oh, wow. Somebody doing a story, would that be something that would be welcomed within your community? I believe that there was something special here at one time, and I would like to somehow capsulize that.
You settled on a feather? I would say they
You'd
found a
say an
grinding stone,
acorn.
they touched it, and then you'd still get the same
Yeah.
vision of how a kid was holding it the same age, same kid, and like I'm holding it from one angle. Like say I pick it up, and all of a sudden, at the same point in time, you have it in your hands too, and we're looking eye to eye as we pass the future. Because
That would be
thousands of years, and when you go to the museum, and even when you go to the mission,
Uh-huh.
the grinding stones are still there.
Wow.
I would use the grinding stones.
Grinding
as a feather.
Wakumeya, Mate Yaguagorim.